Oh my god. When's this song end? Does this song end? No, I think this song goes on. I think this song goes on forever. It's like, this is the song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. Do 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 do. That's got to be it. That's got to be the end, right? Hey, oh my god, I didn't push the button fast enough. Oh my god, guys, I didn't push the button fast enough. What's up? What's up, everybody? How you doing? Oh my god, where's our chat? Refresh. Refresh the chat, dudes. Is it broken? Oh no, there we go. Okay. Okay, chat's working now. All right, chat has returned. Y'all's back, which means you better start chatting super hard. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? I missed some of the early chat. I had to reload my doodad here. So we lost the early chat. So we got to fill it up because I had to close it and restart it. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was. That's right. It's the song that goes on. Somebody asked me the other day if I was eating Chick-fil-A a lot. No, I had Chick-fil-A like 3 weeks ago. I've been refilling the cup with ice water, though. Like, it works great as an ice water cup. So I've just been reusing it. I don't know. It's probably poisoning me, but you know what? You just waste not, want not, right? I'm going to use it until the styrofoam gives out. Alyssa says, yay, live. Okay, good. Is it me or just the music volume much lower than usual? It might be lower. I think I lowered it so it wasn't blowing out people's eardrums as soon as they showed up. Their earballs were exploding. And boy, we don't need that. We don't need that on our hands. So I think I turned it down. But you know what? If it's popular demand, I'll turn it up for the next show. How about that? I should probably do some new intro songs here fairly soon, right? I should do some new intro songs. I think that's probably a good idea, right? Why not? Jason's here. What's up? All right. It's Monday. It's Monday, everybody. So I've been, as you guys noticed, I've been out because I've had to go to work. I've got work. Everything's crazy busy. Everything has been, I don't know about you guys, but everything on my front here has been, it feels like I've been endlessly busy since the beginning of the pandemic. Like a couple years have gone by and being busy all the time. And it feels like a million things have happened, but also at the same time, for some reason, it feels like nothing has happened. Even though, as you can tell, we're in the new house here. There's still boxes back there, because those are my office boxes. Those are my office boxes, so they may just remain there forever. Who knows? Until I build out the new studio space, which I don't know how long that's going to take. But it's going to take however long it takes, you guys, because I'm the only one doing anything on it. I don't have any subcontractors. And I don't even have any helpers. Oh, boo-hoo, woe is me. It's not a boo-hoo, guys. It just is what it is. It's going to take time. It's going to take time to do it. And We got a bunch of stuff done, ish, the other day. I don't remember when the other day was, but we got a bunch of stuff done. Organizing the garage there. I'm having to move all these old. Somebody got shelves from like a Walmart or something. I don't know, some kind of department store that went out of business, and they were put up on the walls in there. Obviously, they're all in the wrong spot, so I'm having to move all of those. And then another big issue with the house here is that somebody, I don't know, somebody convinced the previous owners that the entirety of the house should be 100% electric. I don't know who convinced them to do that, but, and I don't know what it's like in your part of the world, but natural gas is much cheaper for heating and water heating, and a fireplace, I guess. I don't know. We might do a fireplace. Who knows? But it's very weird to me that somebody would switch over to electric heat when you look at the pricing. Like the pricing in the area that we're in, it's just cheaper to run natural gas as the heating element, and especially with like a water heater, right? You got a large water heater for a house. It's always like so much more efficient to run the natural gas version of that. So we're having to switch all that out because somebody detached the natural gas meter from the building. So we're having to test all the internal gas lines in the house. We had to test the gas line from the house to the street. Then the gas company has to like scope the line and then also make sure that the line is big enough for what we're going to use. So there's just like a million goofy steps just to get the water in play. And one of the big reasons for that is that we want to have a lot of hot water on demand so that when I do water changes for the fish tanks that I'm not doing ice cold water. Even though it's not that big of a deal because of how big my tanks are, I think one of the tanks is going to be a heated tank, and so I don't want to keep dumping cold water into it and then wasting money running fish tank heaters and stuff like that just to heat up water that could have been heated via the big burly house water heater, right? So, yeah, and the thing is, like the water heater here. We bought the house. We knew that the roof was really old, and we knew that the water heater was really old. So we already knew going into it that we were going to have to replace both of those. And considering I'm not going to do the roof, I don't know what would happen to me if I spend multiple. Because by myself, I think it would probably take me 2 weeks to do it all alone, just me. By myself, it would probably take 2 weeks, I think, of like sun up to sundown. And you know what? I might get it done in 10 days or something, but then I would probably need to take a couple days off to not be dying of exhaustion or whatever. But I might be able to do that, but I don't even have time in the schedule because Vicky was asking about it. Like, can we save money if we do the roof? And it's like, yeah, we definitely could save money. When exactly are we supposed to do that? When are we fitting that into our work schedule exactly? Because it's not the type of job that you can do a day's worth of work on and then just leave it for a couple weeks and then do a day's worth of work and then leave it. It's the roof. It's got to be done quickly and efficiently and correctly. So we had set money aside to do the water heater and the roof already. We already knew. And then I have to change out a this house is the entirety of this house is run off of a sub panel that was installed in 1954, which boggles my mind that no one has swapped out that panel since then. I don't know why. I don't know why it's still there. That's very interesting because this house has clearly gone through remodels in the past. So It's very weird that that's still there, but I have to swap that. And so it's like that's a perfect example of where I can save a lot of money, right? Um, Electrical panel swap nowadays comes in the range of like $5,000 to $8,000, depending on the complexity. If you hire a company, if I do it myself via parts, I think it's probably about $800. So, and and that will actually be a lot of the I'm actually doing one of the smart panels, which is pretty interesting because you can actually track and monitor your own power usage to make sure things aren't going weird. So yeah, and then here's definitely one of the benefits of the contractor type stuff that I get to interact with on a daily basis. Someone I know is remodeling, like, somebody that's worth $500 million, some super rich person's house, and they have a brand new fridge that's like 2 years old that they never used. It was just installed in one of their houses, and they didn't like the style of it. So we're going to get a brand new fridge and a washer and dryer. So later on, I'll be doing the washer and dryer. Oh, that's the other thing that is super efficient with gas, is the gas clothes dryer. And I have to admit, I don't think that I was like skeptical X amount of years ago switching over to gas, because I think initially when I was a kid, people always talked about gas clothes dryers as being a fire hazard, and that is not the case anymore. But it's pretty wild, I will admit, to put your laundry in, and it is dry in like 25 minutes or something. It is not in there running for an hour and then like might be dry, So that's going to be pretty cool, but that's coming later when they tear out that part of that building. We're going to get the washer and dryer from that. So a lot of little projects here going on. I got the surveying of the property lines here going. I think people will be pretty excited about the it'll be pretty. I think people will be pretty excited about the eventual fish room whenever that space is done, because Vicky and I have agreed on what building we're going to put out there. I had wanted to put two 20-foot by 20-foot garages side by side, and Vicky said, screw that, let's just do a 20 by 40. So we've come to agreement on the building that we want to put out there. We're having to get measurements and make sure that we're not encroaching on the property line because of setback, blah, 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 blah. No one really cares, but that's what's going on. And I have a couple of appointments with that next week to make sure that the drawings are approved and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll start moving forward on cutting down some trees, which is always kind of a bummer to cut down trees because I don't particularly enjoy cutting down trees, but there just isn't another option with the way that our lot here is laid out and everything. So Phil Emerson is here. Vigilum. Oh, Phil's got a new YouTube handle name. And he says to hit the thumbs up. Well, I think everybody's been doing pretty well. It's good to see you, Phil. Thanks for coming out. Is Joel going through a Schrodinger's cat timeline? Was it busy and not busy at the same time? It just feels like a lot of things have not gotten done. It just feels that way. I don't think it's an accurate representation of the things that have gotten done, because I did write down a list of stuff that has happened in the last couple of years, and I go like, oh wow, that actually is quite a bit of stuff has been going on for the last couple of years. So I'm not disappointed at the progress, but it's really easy to get that. It's really easy to end up in that feeling, you know what I mean? Is that you're like, oh my God, I wish things would go faster. I wish things would just go and get done and be done. But it's difficult when you're in the middle of a million different things, and it just has that feeling. It just has that feeling that nothing is getting done, right? And so I just personally, it's it's been a little wild, realistically, the last couple years, and I think it's just kind of wearing on me, really, honestly. DK Law says natural gas. Oh, DKLA, right? Is that how I'm supposed to say it? I forget. You told me last week. I forgot. Natural gas is not allowed in new construction in LA. Also, fireplaces aren't allowed. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's the deal. Like, I don't know what's going on with the regulations in other parts of the world. So I guess you just can't have natural gas. So that's a bummer. I don't know, but the issue is that um it does make sense to me, the reason for not that some people have for not utilizing natural gas. It makes sense to me. Now, if I was the people here that switched everything in this house over to electricity, I would have um, I would have required some kind of alternative production of electricity within the house here. So I think, like, let's say you switch everything over to electricity, you got to put up some solar panels, and you got to do a battery bank and stuff, so that you offset the cost and even the environmental cost of just using electricity all the time. Because even in Washington State, we rely on a lot of hydroelectric. Yes, we have hydroelectric is water dammed up water, runs a turbine. You guys know it. You guys are smart. We run a lot of hydroelectric. We don't have a lot of coal or anything like that, but we do have wind farms and all sorts of other things. And everyone's trying to do alternative energy sources, and alternative energies are slowly but surely coming online. But there's got to be a massive investment in that if we really are going to, as a society, like, make a push. So I think it's great that certain cities would be able to say, like, hey, we're not doing natural gas anymore. We don't want it here because this is all the disadvantages, blah, 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 blah. And we've increased our energy output by X amount, and we're lowering the cost of electricity for the average person. That's where I'm like, hell yeah, let's do that. I don't know what the evidence is like with, like, how much a kilowatt hour costs. How much a kilowatt hour costs in LA, a county. Let's just go with the county. Cost of electricity in Los Angeles. On average, electricity users in Los Angeles County spend about $206 a month. That's 32% higher than the national average electric bill. Cost is 24 cents a kilowatt hour. Okay, let me look what my No, actually, I know what my kilowatt hour is here. So here's what's crazy. So here's what's wild, is that the kilowatt hour here, I'm going to double check this. Let's look what this is. Yeah, so my average kilowatt here cost is 13.24 cents per kilowatt. LA, you guys are paying 24 cents a kilowatt. So let's say I'm paying like 13.5 cents a kilowatt. You guys are paying 24 cents a kilowatt. So that's my issue right there, is like, I would be totally stoked if everybody was just using electricity for everything, and it was coming from something awesome. Like, build a couple nuclear power plants, the efficient ones, the new ones, and have them producing energy for the customer base, and then you'll really like, kind of be looking at something that makes sense as far as I'm concerned. But so the issue here is that I pay probably that 13.5 cent per kilowatt in electricity. But so when I break it down on the gas side, I pay about, if it's equatable, like the same thing, I think I pay about 4 cents for the same amount of kilowatt, like heating and not cooling, but heating, and like water heating and using electricity to dry clothes and stuff like that. So it's a big savings for us over the year, because let's say we do 0.05 times, I don't know, let's say we go through 5,000 kilowatts just to make sure that we're accurate here. It's like $250 a year, right? So the water heater that we're going to put in is the same cost, right? I think the water heater that we wanted to get was one of the hybrid water heaters. The only issue is that they don't work fantastically when the temperature is on the cold side. And the space where our hot water heater is going to go, it's not heated and cooled. So it actually works well when it's hot out. But it doesn't work well when it's cold out. And considering that space is going to be cold a lot, what it's going to end up doing is actually cooling that space even more. So what would end up happening is you end up with like a refrigerated garage. And that's not going to be optimal for where that hot water heater goes here, because we'll just end up spending a bunch of money to try and heat against, and then we'll have like a cold wall with a warm wall, and that's just not a great idea. So I went, okay, how much is the gas unit? The gas unit's about the same for the really nice gas unit. I think they're both about $900. So it's kind of one of those things where you go like, well, this is actually going to save money over time. So after 4 years, switching into a gas one will have saved the cost of that unit itself. So yeah. Vitra says, I saw Obi-Wan episode 3, part 3 halfway through. The Obi-Wan series is blowing up all of Star Wars right now. I'm convinced now, after watching episode 4, or is it 3 or 4? I think episode 4 came out on Friday, right? Obi-Wan episodes. Episodes total 4. Yeah, I think 4 came out on Friday, right? Yeah, part 4 came out. Infiltrated. Kidnap princess. Yeah, I think part 4. Yeah, part 4 came out last Friday. Okay, yeah. June 8th. The next part 5 comes out Wednesday. Okay, that's right, because it's releasing on Wednesdays. I forgot. I thought it was coming out on Fridays. It's the boys that come out on Fridays, not Obi-Wan's boys. But I'm thoroughly convinced that that the new Obi-Wan is sort of ruining storylines left and right for really dumb reasons. I think it's just for reasons that aren't worth it. They just aren't worth it. Like, what's his name? Camille Nanjiani, right? Camille Nanjiani. That's right. Kumail Nanjiani. I think this guy is amazing. I think this guy is a fantastic actor. I think he's a great comedic actor. He was completely awful in The Eternals. The Eternals was a stupid garbage movie, and you cannot convince me otherwise. But I thought that his performance was good in Obi-Wan Kenobi, but his character writing spoils so much other content within the series that it is mind-bending. It is you really have to go, okay, I guess people just do stuff because they're in a TV show, is, I guess, the level where your brain has to be now, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like that. I like to think about. I like to be able to think about content. I like to be able to think about things that I watch and go like, wow, the amazing depth to make sure that these stories intertwine and all of the things make sense, and we stick to the rules of the universe build and all of that kind of stuff. That's all vastly important to me. You guys heard me complain about the Wheel of Time series on Amazon. It is the worst adaptation I have seen in 20 years of anything. And there is a perfect example that proves my point to those morons making that show. They're adapting a book that I really like, a book series that I really like, that is like, I think it's 4 million words long. You have plenty to work off of. They've rewritten all of the characters. They've rewritten the storylines. They're jumping past important things. They're doing all this stuff, and their ideas are not as good as the original. And my example that I can compare to is, say, you might not like Dune. Won how many Oscars? But let's say that we're all in agreement that winning an Oscar is like the highest award that you can win for making content, I guess. Let's just agree that that's a benchmark, right? They won Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Costume Design, Best Adapted Screenplay, okay? Best Picture, Best Sound, Best Film Editing, Best Original Score, Best Visual Effects, Best Production Design, Best Cinematography, by adapting directly from the book Dune, which people claim would not work. It would take too long. It would just take too long to make this movie. Nobody will stay and watch the movie. You know, that should be your example right there. It's like, if I'm going to adapt a book into a film or a TV show or whatever, you got to really, 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 really stay in with the content that you are adapting, and otherwise it's just a waste of time. Aubrey says, have you watched the latest season of Stranger Things? Vicky and I have watched, I believe, 3 episodes so far of Stranger Things, and it's not bad. It's going in a different direction a little bit, but not bad. Even like how wild the things that are happening in that show, you're still like, well, that just seems to be what's happening. Like, it's put forward in a way that makes you go, this is just wild, but it has a believable feel to it, if that makes sense. It has stuck with the, like, this is our universe, and these are the things that happen within our universe, and here's the limitations of things happening in this universe, and this is what's up. And I really enjoy that. I might not like how a story ends or how the middle goes, whatever, but it really is, it has that real believability to it. Jason Livingston says, dare I say The Last Airbender? I think The Last Airbender was even better than the Wheel of Time adaptation. The Wheel of Time adaptation is so frustratingly stupid that it is beyond. It's beyond. And here's the example. Like, let's say you made The Last Airbender, but the kid in it, what's the kid's name? The young guy with the arrow on his head. Let's say you just made him 35 years old, right? And you were like, oh, he's just not a kid anymore. Like, go, well, because, like, there'll be boobs in this or something, right? Like, and that's your reasoning. Your reasoning is like, I'm going to remake The Last Airbender, but everyone's going to be 40. There's going to be no kid. He's not going to be a kid at all. That's basically what they've done to the Wheel of Time. You know, the Wheel of Time is like it's that bad. It's that bad, right? And so to me, it's just beyond. It's beyond the pale. It's beyond the pale of redeemability at this point. I've watched the first season. I've written a bunch of critiques on the first season and just how bad it is. And it pains me to say that they're making season 2, which is going to be so bad. Yeah, it's just a bummer, you know. So what are you going to do? There's nothing I can do except complain about it on the internet. There just really isn't much else to do. Yeah. Alec the Nice says I support it if there's boobs. Like, why, though? Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, the world is saturated with availability of seeing whatever content you want. It makes, you know, like, you could simply Google search whatever term you want, right? And you could find something to look at, right? It makes no sense to me that you got to do this big giant project and then, you know, especially if we're talking about the Wheel of Time, like the characters in it were super puritanical, right? That's how they started. That's how they start out. But in the new in the new show on Amazon, they're all having sex. All the characters are, right? And it makes no sense because it's like, what? Why are they doing this? And it's like, oh, to make it more relatable to people. And it's like, what are you doing? That's not the story, right? It's like if you started the let's say you started let's say you started the Lord of the Rings, but then all of a sudden everybody in the Lord of the Rings was grown up. They all had wives and they were all having like interpersonal relationships. They're all having kids. They'll have to like worry about having prophylactics or whatever with them before they go on this journey and all this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like there's too many layers of stupidity added onto that show versus the book that it just doesn't make any sense. And, you know, spoiler alert, a bunch of the characters aren't even the way that they are in the books. You know, Matt Cawthon is like a young sort of class clown type character guy, but in the show, he's like a 28-year-old criminal. Like he's just doing crime wherever he goes. Like he's not joking and jovial and having fun and like playing pranks on people and stuff like he is in the books. In the TV show, he's just like a full-on like hardened criminal gambler in debt to everybody and stealing constantly and stuff, which is not that character at all in the books. Paranai Bara is the blacksmith's apprentice in the books, and he is a very, very, very large man, and so he sort of walks on eggshells because he doesn't want to sort of like bully other people or other people feel like they're being bullied by him or whatnot. He just feels larger than he's supposed to be because he's a blacksmith's apprentice and he's huge. Like he's just huge and jacked. He's like a big lineman, you know? He's like an offensive lineman from I guess I don't want to keep using my home team, the Seattle Seahawks. He's from the Cincinnati Bengals or something, right? He's big like an NFL, giant NFL player, right? And he doesn't want to sort of use that against other people and everything like that. And so he's sort of apprehensive and whatnot in that. But in the TV show, he has a wife at the beginning that he just murders right out the gate, you know? So it's pretty ridiculous that I just that doesn't happen in the books and it happens right out the gate in the TV show and you're like, what is happening here? Why? What? You know? So it's ridiculous. Um, Paula Kreinberg says, "Damn, you lost the chat the very first time I was actually first." So here's the problem: if I open and close my pop-out chat window, it like erases back to a certain point. I don't know how it differentiates that, but it's just like if chat is X amount old in its eyes, it's like, no, we will make that just go off into the ether. So, yeah. So speaking of fish tanks earlier, obviously the new fish room and recording studio and stuff like that is in progress. I'm still stripping the walls, so bear with me on this. It's going to be a while, but the new studio and fish room are going to be in progress, and I've been kind of planning out what tanks I want to put in there because I don't want to set it up and have everything just jammed full of tanks. I don't want that. That's not something that I want, and I don't want to move that when it comes time to move it. That will be a disaster. So I don't want to do that. But regardless of all that, let's say what tanks do I really want to get in there? And I've kind of been designing what kind of layouts I want to do and what kind of setups that I want to do. And I was going through like all my hardscape stuff, and I realized I've got a lot of hardscape stuff, so I'm not very limited by whatever ideas I have kind of rattling around in my head. So I have been sort of focusing on, am I going to do 2 of the 120s in there? Probably something like that, because I can always be working on one and letting the other one grow. And then I think what I'm going to do is do some of the smaller tanks that I have. I have some sort of, I think they're like 36-gallon rimless glass tanks that I have that have just been stored for a while. So I think I'm going to set up 2 of those, and I think that's going to be it for the studio fish room. I think that's all that I'm really going to do. Because I feel like if I do more than that, it's going to end up like really cluttering the space. And I'm just going to have like a whole bunch of tanks in there to constantly be working on all the time, which it's pretty clear at this point is not the direction that I should be going in. I should definitely be not headed in the collectoritis direction. So I'm definitely going to be making sure I'm not doing that because I don't want to be doing that. Like, I'm also not going to leave a high five hanging. Oh, the what's up dog. Yeah. Yeah, I have heard of what's up dog. I have heard of that. We need more entertainment like Mad Max Fury Road. Backstory doesn't matter. You just get it. Well, the thing is, like, if you watch Mad Max Fury Road, there is a backstory to it. So you should kind of know the backstory of it. Oh, my God. D from Brooklyn's here. Long time. Am I selling any of my art? Not currently, but I do have, like, we have a lot of art pieces I've worked on just in the garage. So we definitely are going to, go through those because we want to find out what Vicky wants to hang up in the house and what she doesn't want to hang up in the house. And I believe she wants me to paint something else for her specifically. I don't understand why somebody turned the heat on and it is getting warm in here. I don't know why the heat is turned on. Hold on. I'm going to find out what's going on with that because, like, dude, I'm starting to get hot. Okay, I figured it out. It's literally, um, it's my wife. It's my spouse. Is she my wife? I don't know. Whatever. You understand what I'm talking about. So my spouse had the back door open that was just blowing cold air over to the thermostat. And she had the heat turned up. So the heat is just on in here. And it is, in the other room, it's like, it's normal. It's like normal and cool in there. It's totally fine. Yeah, so what are you going to do? It's hot all of a sudden here, too. Yeah, it's literally the furnace. It's like the furnace kicked on. And I've got 3 registers in this kind of big room here. So it just, like, a ton of, like, it's like, hot air is blowing on me. Like, what the hell is going on here? So I feel for you guys. One of the fantastic things about this new house here, got central air. Well, you understand. Central air and a big AC unit. I've only got to use it once, really. But it was the one hot day we had here. It got really warm in the house because we didn't have any curtains or blinds yet. And so the sun was just kind of beaming in, and it got pretty hot. I mean, not 98 degrees or anything like that. But it got pretty warm, and then it was like, oh, I'm going to turn on the AC, and it just like 5 minutes later, it was totally normal temperature. So it was pretty good. Yeah, I don't know why you guys live where it's 105 degrees. I don't like that. Aubrey says it's 94, feels like 107. Chad says it's 98, and Joseph says it's 105. I don't live there because I hate that. I hate it when it's 105. It's like interesting for a day or two, as like a novelty. It's kind of cool when it's a novelty, but you guys live in a part of the world where it's like it's either frozen and windy or it's 110 degrees and like tornadoes. I'm like, move out of there. Move from there. It's nuts. I would not like that. I'm not like it when it's like 110 degrees for 6 months straight. It's bonkers. Actually my sister came to visit the other day, and we were talking about Texas because of the heat dome or whatever's going on, whatever they want to call it. And I was like, it's not very far from the normal down there, and I just don't get it. I don't get why people I don't get why people live there, because it's always hot in Texas. Every time I've been to Texas, it was hot. I don't know if there's a time when it's not hot, but every time I've been to Texas, it was hot. Middle of the night, hot. Daytime, hot. Bleh, just muggy and hot and gross, and it smells like garbage there. I don't know. If it's hot in Denver, it really must be climate change. It gets hot in Denver, believe you me. The elevation there, it gets hot. It gets hot in Denver. That is for sure. But it'll be like 90 degrees one day and then snowing the next day. So I don't know if I could deal with that level of like purely wild swings and stuff either. So, but I do like Colorado. I've been to Colorado lots of times, and I've experienced all of the weather patterns there. I think rainy, hot and sunny, super hot and sunny, and 20 feet of snow. I've experienced all of those. Well, I like Colorado, yeah, but it's too expensive there. We considered buying a house there to transfer Vicky, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I think. Something like that. To transfer and go live in Colorado. And every place we looked was way too expensive, so we didn't. Joel, it's Texas here, but yes, we had a crazy-ass overheated, started stupid early summer. They gave us like 2 days of fall. That is a bummer, dude. But yeah, Texas is always hot, man. It's wild. It's wild stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot to pop into the green room on the Discord in case anybody wants to call in today. Pop in there. All right. Shout out to all the. Oh yeah. Oh my God, guys, we gotta promo the channel. We've lost a bunch of members because I moved and I don't make TikTok shorts anymore. Which maybe I'll start doing those again. Because I started working on editing. Oh, it's amazing! It's amazing to get back to the editing and making stuff. It's always great. And but if you want to join up and help sponsor the channel, I would 100% appreciate it. If we ever do reach a goal where I don't have to go out into the field and dig holes and mix cement and pull wires through walls and get electrocuted and potentially fall off of roofs and drive a million miles and load things up and carry heavy things and do all that stuff, hey, I will start making YouTube content full time. I've never hit that goal, though. I've never hit the goal where I was at a point where I could just go, this would pay the bills and I could keep working on this job. But I want to give a big shout out to everybody who's continued to be a part of the channel and be a part of the community. Like, one of the things that we do around here is we have a Minecraft server that has recently been updated by one of our members, one of our users, one of our members. We got a couple guys there that are computer programming wizards, and they help us out with our server, our Minecraft server, so you can go on there, run around, make a fish tank in the Minecraft world, whatever you want to do. Our newest members on the YouTube channel, shout out to Jerry X for becoming a member, and shout out to Hunter and Fish Girl from Connecticut for rejoining. Very much appreciate you. And then also Patreon is just a continued decline. I don't even know how many members we have on there, but I really appreciate you guys hanging in there and supporting the channel and doing what you can. Like I said, if I get to that point where I can fund just making you guys content, I will do that. I will do that 50 hours a week. Get up Monday morning and make YouTube videos. But I've never reached that point. To be honest with you, I would like to try that for a couple years, and see if it's all it's cracked up to be. But I've never gotten to that point, so I'm still spinning 40 plates in the air on the sticks. You know what I mean? They start spinning the plates on the top of the sticks, and then they got to keep them going. That's kind of what I'm doing on the reg. Which means I got about, I don't know, 25 minutes before I got to go to an appointment. A contractor appointment, guys. You know, those good things. Oops. Oh, hold on. What am I doing here? I pushed a button. Okay. Maybe I should start a basement garden. It is warm there. Yeah. Basement tomato growing weather is nice here despite the heat. Yeah. I'd lose my voice. Well, I wouldn't be streaming. I wouldn't be streaming for all of that time. I'd be making videos for all that time. And also, like, being able to go out and do some of the documentary type stuff that I want to do. Like, I have footage from some of the places that I've gone out to do documentary type stuff. But, you know, the editing process has been laborious and not very fruitful, to be honest with you. Like, the other day I was like trying to go through hours and hours of Peru content, which I do really want to go back to Peru because now I have like an idea of the videos and the film, air quote film, the YouTube videos that I want to make, that I want to film, stuff that I want to capture. I have some scripts outlined, not really detailed on exactly what I want to get. But I do want to go back there, and it looks like we're probably not going to be able to go back this year because of permits and licenses and stuff, crap like that has nothing to do with me. So hopefully it'll work out, and maybe we'll go the year after or something. But yeah. Joel, me too. I was just building the restaurant for my friend and now working in the kitchen and still working another friend's place doing a brunch menu, and it's going to kill me. Yeah, I'll tell you guys, I spent years and years working, 100 and, 100 hours a week, doing multiple jobs, cooking over here and then doing, and then doing electrical work on the weekend or doing mechanic work on the weekend or in the evenings and all that kind of crazy stuff. And it really wears you down, man. It just really does. Like, the human body is just really not designed to go completely bonkers like that forever. And as I've talked about in the past, it's why I advocate for, stronger social programs and social safety nets and things like that, so that people can be lifted up, as opposed to going like, just work more. You need to grind. You need to be in a grind set and just grind yourself into the dirt, and lose your mind doing that. It's just not. It's not a long-term way to address your life. It's why when I was a kid, people said go to college, because it was like the only thing that they understood, that you wouldn't necessarily be just grinding yourself into the dirt for the rest of your life. And I'll admit it, like, a lot of my parents' generation were really one-dimensional about that, where they would just go like, yeah, but you have to go to college. They didn't really ever explain why. They were always just like, you have to go to college. You'll be more successful if you go to college. And it's like, but why would I have to do that? And I don't know that anybody ever really was coherently like verbalizing this is why in a way that like any young person would understand. As you guys know, I missed a show a little while ago because I was sick. I still have this like weird like allergy cough thing going on. It's very weird. I don't have COVID. I tested negative for that like a bunch of times, so I don't have COVID. It was actually just some kind of weird cold, and then the pollen count has been a million here for every day for the longest time. Oh my God, we've got a Captain Insano super chat. We've got $100 super chat from Ginger Graves with the happy housewarming. Thank you very much. That is extraordinarily generous. Thank you. That's wild. I will put that directly towards towards the Minecraft server, realistically, because that thing, I got to pay that bill every month, that Minecraft server bill. And so I like I said earlier, I'm doing my best to get to a point where I could just make content full time, but lacking that ever being a thing, I'm just gonna keep working, because I think if I was even making YouTube content, it would be about a lot of the stuff that I do now. I think I would just have more time to document the things that I'm doing. It's like I don't really have a lot of time to show you guys woodworking and stuff in a coherent way, because I don't really have like the time to sit down and explain like geez. I guess I don't have the time to explain because I can't even think, oh, here's how you make like a dado joint between two pieces of plywood. Like, here's how you make it sturdy so you could consider starting to make your own cabinets, which is a series that I'm hoping to be able to make and show for you guys as the first kind of real video for the new fish room, because as who said it earlier? Gosh, where was it? Somebody said it earlier. Do the fish room more like a gallery as opposed to just tons and tons of tanks like stuffed into a room, which I'm in agreement with. So I actually want to show you guys how to do the woodworking of that. Potentially something that you could try to take on as a project on your own, but it really depends on your skill level and tools and knowledge. If you have like a good base knowledge, you should be able to build those. But I'm actually going to build all those cabinets from scratch in a completely different way than I've been doing them before. Not just the 2x4 construction, because I want. Well, it'll make sense when I do it, but I want more space to be able to enter and have them be closer to the outside of the tank instead of it being restricting underneath the tank itself. And I also want to put some freaking drawers in there, dude. Can't wait to do that. I want to be able to put drawers underneath my aquariums. I've never had a drawer underneath an aquarium with a sump. I've never had a drawer. And I want to figure out how to do that. And I have like a brilliant idea of one that I made off of somebody else's design. And I think it's going to work. And I think it's going to be cool. Although it may or may not be a complete and total disaster also, which generally makes for a good video too. But thank you very much, Ginger. I appreciate it endlessly. Thank you. Chad Kratz with the membership for 40 months. 40-month member. Oh, my God. Tips for Hygrophila pinnatophyta. It's not dying, but it's not really doing much. Rotala, Crypt, Bacopa are all doing well. Dosing Easy Green once a week. So pinnatophyta can be pretty finicky, and I'm off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember what the deficiency is that causes it to sort of sit dormant. Because obviously, like, adding light is not something that the average person's like ready to do, and I don't think that's what it is. But I would consider dosing like a little bit of mineral into your water. Don't go totally crazy, but try to bring the hardness up just like a little bit of mineral in the water, and then see how it reacts over the next couple of weeks. One of the easier ways to do that, where's my online store here? I'd have to find it. Looking. Where is my what? Oh, poopy poop. Can't find it. This will take a second. This is that part where I have to like ramble on and then be like, well, you know how it is, Okay, let's go over here. Push this button, and we'll go over to my Amazon store, which is why it says that this is a paid promotional. Where is it? Manage my storefront. There it is. Man, it feels like my internet is running slow today, but I literally think it's just, I think it's just my firewall and, what you call it? Edit storefront? Where's the edit storefront? Maybe I have to go to the edit storefront zone. No? Okay, maybe I have to go here? All? Wow, I have one thing in my storefront right now? What the hell's going on here? $110 items. Oh, here we go. Okay. I had to click into here. Where did those little mineral... I mean, obviously you can just bring the hardness up with some crushed coral and stuff like that, but I swear I had some mineral tabs in here that worked really well. Yep, here they are. These are those shrimp. These are those shrimp mineral rocks. They appear to be unavailable at this moment, so understandably, people are going to click on that and get mad. So let's see if there's a where are they? They're in here somewhere. I don't know where they are. But these shrimp mineral tabs is what I was adding before. And that seemed to help quite a bit. Shoot. Okay. Well, maybe you can find something similar to it. And maybe you can find something similar to those shrimp. These ones apparently are currently unavailable. And it doesn't seem to be a different one available at this time. But maybe you can find a product that like does that. But you're basically like add a little crushed coral, add some mineral stones, some mineral supplements. Let me see if I can find a mineral. Snail. Because we got some of these the other day. These like little snail. Oh, actually, these are available. Text. Copy. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about wonder shells, guys. I'm like kind of an idiot today. It's too hot in here. What do you want me to do? But yeah, you could actually just go with some wonder shells. These will probably work pretty well for you. And go that route and then see what the Pinnatifida is doing. But I always had like back and forth arguments with that plant, and it was always something weird was going on. Typically, it would do better with more frequent water changes, with my water being soft. That would also help, and I think a lot of that had to do with a lot of the macro type minerals that were coming through even in my soft water. If that sort of makes sense. If that sort of makes sense to you, like doing those water changes was pretty helpful for it. So, but I could like try to find my notes at some point and see what the heck was going on. Aquamain says, "You ever seen the Vancouver Carpenter on YouTube?" I don't think so. I don't think I have. Zip Gun is here. Rosie is here. Fantastic. What's up, guys? How you doing? And Lorcan Tomwing. Hey, Joel, do you have any Chihiros lights? I have one that I used for a little while. The coloration made it really weird to take pictures, and that was causing a problem. I don't notice that they went. It's not like my plants went crazy or anything like that. That's just so the current Chihiros light. Let's see if we can't find one that's like comparable right now. Yeah, so there's like this Vivid 2. I have one of these somewhere. Dude, what is with my internet today? This is weird. I'm not used to this. I have one of these somewhere, and does this one have a timer in it? I can't remember if it has a timer in it. I remember when none of the Chihiros lights had a timer built into it, so I had to have them on timers. And I know that a lot of people aren't bothered by this, but I frankly am. I'm bothered by that. It didn't come with any legs to mount it on the tank, which is kind of annoying because you like have to mount it from the ceiling. I do recall that being annoying. But you know, if it's meeting those things, it puts out a lot of light. So, you know, that's fine, you know. But at like $340, and you know, it kind of makes me go like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a lot of money for growing aquarium plants, and I don't remember it having like every feature that I want in it. Like, if you're selling me a $300 or a $500 light, it should have a timer built into it at this point. Like, it just should. That's a big issue for me. So if it's kind of meeting those, if the newer ones are meeting that now and they have like a built-in timer, could definitely be worth it. But that always sends me back to the like the Fluval 3.0 is only like $229 for a 48 incher, right? With everything built into it. You know, it has like a timer. You can change color patterns and all that stuff. Their app works great. So, you know, to me, it's like somebody has to put out a product that competes with that. Now, and I mean, when I say competes with that, it's like puts out enough light. It is waterproof. It has a warranty. It has a timer built in. I can change the light spectrum from a simple app that, by the way, isn't harvesting my information either. All of those things, you got to compete with that. Like the freshen plant can be hung from the air, but it comes with legs that extend out the end of it that you could just boom, set it right on an acrylic tank or a glass tank. So it's got to compete with that. At that same price point, right? $230 from on Amazon. You know, I don't know if that's somebody underpricing it or overpricing it or what. I don't know. I don't sell stuff. But yeah, that's ultimately the thing, is that like I could buy a 48-inch light for $229.00 from the Fluval store, so they're obviously not undercutting themselves. Well, maybe they are. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, some people had problems like updating their Fluval lights. I don't know, but they're only like $230, whereas the Chihiros are $340. There's like, this is one that's like $180 right here. Oh, this one has the app now. Okay, so here's one for like $180. Which, how long is it? Like, how wide is it? 17-inch. So it'd probably cover half the tank. Even though it says it goes up to 120. 30 to 120. That's a wide range for a light to be able to handle. So, yeah. So that's kind of my thing, is that like, I bet somebody out there makes an $800 light that would compete with the Fluval Fresh and Plant. All the features and everything. I bet somebody makes that, but it's $800, right? So Lorcan says, yeah, the newer ones have full app controllability. They're expensive, but 11,000 lumens, 138 watts. It definitely upped their game. Yeah, but I think, this one might do the trick. I mean, well, here's the thing. It would do the trick. Yes, it'll grow plants. I know enough people that use these lights that they grow plants, so obviously they grow plants. WRGB 2 Pro 30. Is that the one that we're looking at here? 2 Pro 60. The WRGB 2 Pro 130 to 120. And I think this one's 23-incher. Okay, what about the 90? The 90 is 35 inches. It's $330. So there must be a bigger one, because you said, what did you say, 138 watts? This one's 110 watts. So there must be one that's like bigger. But my guess is like if it's $400 or hold on, because this one, the 35-inch one, is $350. So it's about $10 an inch. At that, right? Is that correct? $10 an inch? Yeah, I think so. So the 48-inch one should be like $450. What, this one's 9,200 lumens. Okay, so there must be one that's 11,000 lumens. I don't know where that one is. I could probably find it if we keep looking. If we keep looking desperately. If we keep desperately digging around the internet, we might find it. But that's, to me, it's like, well, why? What's motivating me to really buy that? Okay, here is RGB2 120. This one's 375. So that must be the the price drop. Right? What is the length? Oh, so this is the 48-inch one. Okay. So the 48-inch one is $380 plus tax. So, yeah, I mean, if it does all those things and it really is just that much light that you really, 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 really need all that light, could be worth it. $400. I just purchased the Chihiros RGB2 Pro, 120 centimeters for $400. Yeah. Yeah, well, the Vivid has 11,000 lumens. I think it's the I think it realistically is the fact that it's the 48-inch long one, or however many centimeters that is. What's that? 48 centimeters, 2 inches. No, that's not right. We want 120 centimeters. Duh. What an idiot. Yeah, 48 inches. Yep. Okay. It's probably just because it's a bigger driver and more LEDs and more body. And the color compared to my Fluval is better, just saturated more. I mean, the thing is, I'd be happy to try one. I just don't know. After having tried one of the older ones, because I think I have the older. Which one? I can't remember what it is. It has the silver body and it's more round. It's less flat than this one is. But regardless, I don't know that I'm motivated by spending $400 on that. I'd be happy to test one out, but who knows? They'd probably want me to do something for having tested it out. Oh my God, Crazy Aquarium Guy is here. Oh my God. Finally went to CO2 after being in the hobby for 29 years. Can't believe I did not listen to you sooner and did it a long time ago. So much more fun with plants. Yep. It's all good. People don't want to listen to me. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. Hey. But I'm glad that you've hopped over and tried out some CO2 and stuff, and it's working out good for you. I'm glad to hear that. I really am. Stacy Carr just arrived. Hey, man. Give this man a free Chihiros. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would try one out. But I'm also at the point now where if I'm going to do free testing for a company, it's, what's my motivation? What's my motivation to test other people's products and make a free commercial for them, essentially? Right? I think the last light comparison I did was a 30,000 view video or something like that. I think it was something like that. And, I basically got a light for that, and it's okay, so you got lots of customers, it's a little discouraging. You know what I mean? When you do a lot of work for a company and they're like, wait, you're not worth money. Just give it out to people so they watch it. You should really look into doing a collab with Chihiros. If you guys want me to collab with Chihiros, you email them. I'll check it out. I don't like sending emails into the abyss. It's boring, and I don't like doing it. And like I said, if you guys want me to do a video with those guys, you guys have to bug them, because you go I'm just a customer. I'm a paying customer. I want this person to be the ambassador for it. And I don't think the average people realize how much power you have as an average person, right? If a company got 20 emails today, they would be like, wait, what? What happened? What's going on here? Almost every company would do that. And I did trick you with glycerin instead of water in the drop valve, or whatever you call it. Yeah, I've been there. Cool. All right, guys. It is 3:51 in the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time. and that means I gotta go to my appointment. So yeah. Well, we only have 22 likes today. The likes are low. We got no new members today, and only one super chat from Ginger Graves at $100 for a happy housewarming. Thank you very much. Chad Kratz, bug me on the Discord. I'll go find my Pinatafida notes and find out what's the deal. What's the dealio? I'll have to look through my Hygrophila Pinatafida notes, and we can figure out something that's going on with your plants. So, anyhow, hit the like button, call your mom, email the Chihiros people if you want me to test their light, and we'll figure out what's up at a later date. All right, later.